Morning guys, here we are again. It is a lovely Sunday morning. It was a last minute change of plan. I was supposed to go fishing yesterday on a new venue, but my mate Richie was called into work. Well, he had to work last minute Saturday, so the plan was to come today instead. Some of you might recognise straight away where we are. That in the background is Ogmore Deeps and Porthcawl Pier. So that means we are on Witch's Point. It's just got light. That's Richie casting. Will I share my stand? Yes, so it's currently 3 hours before high water. We've been here since low. Didn't bother setting up the camera in the dark because it's been non-stop action. And I find it a bit hard work in the dark to film, to be honest. So we're here, we're giving it a go. We've had loads of whiting and loads of doggies at the moment. They are absolutely smashing the baits as soon as they hit the bottom. So fingers crossed we can get our ray. There has been a few rays caught over the last couple of days. More towards Ogmore than Witches. There has been a couple on Witches, but more over Ogmore. But I didn't want to fish follow because you know what happens when you fish follow? It never works, so I've come nearby. So at times we have got a big swell. There's some swells coming towards us now. They're probably 4 or 5 foot. You might be able to see it now. So yeah, so when you're on Witch's Point you need to be careful of the swells. You might see this one now. Or hear it. So yes. I've literally just wound in a double shot of fish on my loop rig, so I'll go ahead and show you that. And now this is example of what we're getting at the moment. Quite big doggies and whiting. We're keeping a couple of the whiting for bait to see if we can get an eel or a bass out. But so yeah, it's bites we're catching, so let's see what the rest of the session brings. One of the rigs I'm still sticking with while fishing at the moment through the winter is this beefed up loop rig. On the top there is 3 ragworm onto a 3.0 BMX, and that is a new bait for me. That is a anchovy by Riot Baits. I had a nice delivery yesterday courtesy of Riot Baits, and I got a few packs of these to try. So the doggies seem to love them at the moment, so let's see if we can get a spotted or a small eye. Yeah, we're getting absolutely smashed at the moment by whiting and doggies. The tide, you know, there's quite a bit of weed coming through, and there's, you know, the tide's mental, like 7 ounces only just holding. Casting it slightly up tide and it's still being dragged down towards the ledge. Richie's brought about 7 ton of worm with him. So no doubt he'll pull a codlin out or miss a codlin. Yes, we got a new nickname for him, Richie Miss a Bite. No, right,
doing well.
Yes, he's still very camera shy, very camera shy. We'll have him one day. We'll have him on camera, won't we, Rich?
Christmas.
Christmas. So yes, Riot Bait sand eels. Say not massive baits, just going to use 1 medium sand eel and a wrap of squid or a wrap of bluey. And see if anything comes of it. So just a single sand eel, and then pièce de résistance. Squid body. Honestly, that's not Richie tap dancing, that's him just walking around with studs on his boots. but he does like the tap dance. Yeah, he's just gone down to check the accelerator because we got a fresh whiting out for a bass or an eel, literally 20 yards out on a flat, on a flapper, a whiting flapper. You know, some people say, oh, 3 rods, but like when you're fishing high water venues and you're not moving, sometimes it pays if the 2 rods are out there which are quiet. There's no harm in chucking a 3rd rod close in with small hooks on, or a big bait on, because you never know, one day you might get that double figure bass, 30-pound eel, or something small which saves a blank, you know. I don't always do it, you know, but if you're fishing comfortable places like this, or Barry, you know, there's no harm in doing it, like, because it could make the difference one day between catching, not catching, or a small fish, or a fish of a lifetime. So yeah, nice single sand eel and a squid rat. Come off from there then. You sure? I don't know. You sure? Here we have a small eye, probably about £3. My first one of the year. All I need now is the blonde. That was taken on the Riot Baits anchovy. First time using it, and the small eye seems to like it. So yeah, that was on my new rig, 6-foot clip down. It felt different because normally when you got a decent fish on, the lead is off the bottom. But with this, I could feel the fish and I could feel the lead dragging on the sand as well, if that makes sense. So, it was a weird feeling, but yeah. Happy days. That's probably about a dozen whiting, 15 to 20 doggies between us, and a nice little small eye. Happy days. Doggy! One of the rigs I'm using today is a 6-foot or 5 to 6 foot clip down. It's made up of a 200 gram lead, imp, £100 clear. And then on the rig body I have a 1.2mm Cedra single crimp onto a black oval bead SRT spring, which is cut in half. I don't like full ones. And then trapped by 2 oval beads, and then in between the 2 beads above the spring I've got a size 5 Varivas crane, and then another crimp light. If I was to pull down hard it would slide. They're only lightly crimped. And then I've got a size 3 Varivas crane to finish. And then on the snud is 5 to 6 foot, £80 clear, 2 3.0 BMXs onto a whole, what do they call them, anchovy, and a wrapper squid on 3.0 BMXs. So that's what I'm using on one rod, but that next cast could be double sandy or bluey, etc. So it's been pretty much fisher cast at the moment. I've had well over 20 fish easy. Loop rigs, 2-up clip downs, pulley rigs, but we have got the accelerator over the edge, which has been there for about 2 hours with a fresh whiting, not a sniff. So I'm going to wind that in a second and put a fresh whiting out in the main channel, see if we can get a bass or an eel. So it's currently 2 hours to high water. We're going to do the remaining flood and maybe 2 to 3 hours down and see what we get. Richie with a nice small eye, a male about 4 or 5 pound. Just using a T-bar there to unlock it, took it quite deep. Yeah, perfect, nice 4 or 5 pound, male. Beats the doggies, doesn't it?
Yeah, much better.
Say we've been absolutely battered. We probably had over 30-35 fish of doggies and whiting, one ray and now the second ray. You know, safety is key. You know, you gotta make sure the fish goes back safe and you're safe doing it also. There you go. Yeah, wherever you are, it don't matter what venue you're on, you know, safety should always come first. You know, we always get a bit excited when we got a nice fish on. I've been there and done it. I've actually been injured once because I was trying to land a big fish on my own. Safety is number one. So here it is, lovely small eye, probably, I reckon, it's got to be £6, £7, something like that. I'll give it a quick weigh. So, beautiful fish, it's what we come here for, absolutely stunning. The problems with witches is it is a dangerous mark, you know. You got some massive hills behind you. I don't know if you can see in the background there, we got a 15 to 20 mile an hour easterly blowing, and you've got a group of 8 people including kids no older than 10 years old, one in a yellow jacket, right on the edge of a cliff. Can you see that, Rich? Yes. The kid, look, there's a kid about 10 years old in yellow on the edge of a cliff, and that cliff's got to be 80 to 100 foot. Absolutely stupid. They're literally 10 foot from the edge, if that. It amazes me how some people are just so stupid. But you know, if you come down to Witch's Point, do yourself a favour, go onto Magic Seaweed, Porthcawl, look at the swells. If there's big swells, don't come down here. Anything over 4 or 5 foot is dangerous. It's too dangerous. There's no end of the day. Yeah, you're okay fishing up here, but you know what it's like. If you get a big fish, you get excited. Your mate is all excited. You run down to the water's edge to net it and grab it. Next thing you know, a 5 foot swell comes in, takes you off. Because trust me, when this starts ebbing off Witch's Point, it literally runs out. You know, that's RNLI job straight away. So if you're going to come to Witches, just think about your surroundings and what you're doing, and just be careful, because it's really not worth it, guys. It's really not worth it. Right on the avenue. Nice little spotted. A very angry spotted. Very angry. Ah, beautiful fish they are, absolutely beautiful. Pound for pound, probably one of the best hardest fighting rays going. Be nice if these grew over 20 pound, wouldn't it? Look at him. That's a male. That's a male, as you can tell, the claspers here. Yeah, he's very endowed. So yeah, this was taken on Sandy Island squid. I'm having a bit of a nightmare with that new rig because the snood is fixed 6 foot up, which means I got 6 foot of lead dangling. It's getting caught on everything. There's a big point under the water, goes out about 150, 180 yards maybe, something like that. And every time I'm winding in a fish, albeit a ray or a doggy, the lead, because it's hanging low, the ray's coming up, the lead is coming low, it's catching on everything. So yeah, absolutely beautiful. They're spotted. We're catching fish, that's all that matters. So yeah, beautiful little fishy. Here we have ray number 4. This is my 3rd smalleye and a spotted I've had. So probably over 20 fish, including doggies and whiting. Really happy. We're about hour and a half into the ebb. The rays seem to have come on pretty much high water and hour and a half down. So yeah, lovely smalleye. Beautiful fish. Let's go and put it back. Yeah, here we have Richie. We're coming towards the end of the session now. He's had a cracking bite. My fault. I pressed the wrong button on the GoPro. I turned it off instead of record. But he just wound in now his pulley rig. On the bottom hook, he's got a nice spot, about 2.5, 3 pound, and on the top hook, he's got a nice whiting. What more could you ask for in a February? Lovely. Happy with that?
Yeah, worth it.
Happy days. Well, that brings us to the end of another video. I hope you enjoyed them. But just wound in my last casts and I had double shot of dogfish on both of them. So I reckon between me and Richie, we probably had over 40 fish, easy. It's been pretty much every cast, maybe 1 or 2's come back untouched, but the amount of fish that's out there now for a mid-February is unbelievable. But saying, you know, we've been struggling a lot over the last couple of weeks. To come down and get 6 rays today, you know, what more could you want? You know, Richie had a nice spotted and a whiting on a panel rig just now, which was nice. Both fish have gone back. He said, you know, the fish that's always against him is a spotted. He struggles to catch a spotties, they just evade him. You know, he gets big 17, 18 pound blondes all the time. You know, big thornies, double figure cod. But spotted rays just elude him. So for him to have a spotted on his last cast with a whiting as well, you know, as a result. They're nothing massive. I think the biggest fish was just shy of 8 pound, 7 pound 10 I think it was, 7 pound 12. So good. You know, Witches is a place, you know, you can get a lot of fish. You know, but you have to be careful. Big tides is not really ideal. If you're going to fish it on big tides, on the flood is fine. But if you're going to fish big tides, go further around the ledge on a grass bank. But ideally small to medium tides you want for witches. Light winds or strong northerlies, strong easterlies, the sea is flat. But anything with westing, it just kicks up a swell. Just be careful. Check magic seaweed for porth call first. Make sure the swells are 4 or 5 foot and under. Because remember, at the end, yes, you might be 30 foot up, but you still have to go down to land big fish. So, you know, with that in mind, you've always got to be careful from your footwear to the tools you need to land fish, albeit gaffs, nets. You know, you have to take this into consideration, because at the end of the day, without a decent tool to land fish, you might take that little extra risk to land it and could cost you your life or your friend's life. It's not worth it. So, on that note, hope you enjoy the videos. And until the next time, tight lines.